out of here.
Hey, I was meditating on it. This might be the year.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
All right, Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash.
Double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the men that rule and teach well, and that taught us this truth. And Shalom, wa Kasayim, wa Barakim, peace, mercy, and blessings unto all you fellow laborers out there that are pushing this truth wherever you may be scattered. All right, the true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, which means he exists or he's to be. The true name of the Son is Yahweh Shai, which means he is the deliverer. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
Barakatah Yahweh Shai.
We are the Hebrew Israelites, which consist of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Cubans, Mexicans, Dominicans, Brazilians. Okay, we actually make up the lost 12 tribes of Israel. The so-called white men, they're not white, they're red. They are the Idumeans according to the Holy Bible. Okay, according to Bible prophecy, they are the end of the world. And Jacob, which Jacob's name was changed into Israel, we're the beginning of it that followed.
Right.
Okay, and we're in the year 2021, the year of the hastening of the coming of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, man.
Right.
Okay, and time is moving very swiftly, man. We're already halfway through the year. All right.
St. Jeremiah 28, we start at verse 7. Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thine ears, and in the ears of all the people. The prophets that have been before me, and before thee of old, prophesied both against many countries.
Right. When I hear this scripture, it always reminds me of Noah. Because what was Noah doing? Noah was prophesying against the whole world, man. Okay? It says only 8 people escaped the flood. Okay? So you had Noah, you had Jeremiah, you had Micah, you had Nahum. All right? You have Yahweh Shai. You have plenty of prophets of old that prophesy against great kingdoms. Okay? And as I said before, Noah prophesied against the entire earth, man. The entire world at that time was consumed with violence, wickedness, okay, and idolatry.
And it says, the prophets that have been before me, before thee of old, prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Right, and the evil means a bad time, and we're getting that ready to enter some very bad times here in America, man. Right. Okay, we're already in inflation. Before you know it, we'll be in hyperinflation. Okay, which means what? The value of your dollar is decreasing. Okay, and the amount of goods that you're getting for your dollar, you're not getting as much as you should be getting. Okay, because they have something called shrinkflation. Okay, which means you can buy a product, but the size of the product has shrunk from what it would have been last year, man. See, that's how the devil works, man. That's how he stocks the shelves. So you think nothing is going on, but the whole time your dollar's devaluating and the amount of goods you're getting is decreasing, man.
Giving you more air and less potato chips.
Exactly.
2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50.
And then he keeps it alive with like commercials and shit. You know, actors. You know, like look at certain candy. He makes it seem like it's alluring. You know, or cereal. Then you open it, you like cereal's expensive. You know, I don't even eat cereal like that. As a kid, I remember eating it, but I grew up, and once I had to start paying bills, I'm like, I'm not eating cereal. That's expensive. Yeah. But the cartoons, the glitz, that's how they get everybody, man.
Especially with these goddamn commercials, man. You see these commercials, these big ass juicy burgers. Yep. Then you go to that restaurant, it's a little ass burger. Yep. They forgot to put the tomato on it.
Yep. Because it's just a struggling American back there.
Right.
I'm just trying to fucking finish my shift to pay my bills.
Right.
You know, everybody's trying to do what they got to do to get by. And in the meantime, the beast is just continuing the conveyor belt. And people they're beat. They can't do it no more.
People are worn out, man.
Yeah.
You know, just like it's written in Daniel, he shall wear out the saints.
Yep.
You know, when you go into that word, it means to harass continually. And we're continually harassed out here, man, through through the policing,
bills,
through being the last hired, the first to get fired,
right?
Being subject unto payments, you know, having a hole in your pocket.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
I got a quick one. St. James chapter 5 and verse 1, and it says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that should come upon you."
Right, and that's going into actually the top of the elites, man. It's not even the Jeff Bezos, the Elon Musk. You might think they got money. They don't got shit compared to what the elites got, man. Okay, they got gold on top of gold. That's why it tells you in the book of Job, he has swallowed down riches, but he shall vomit them up, man.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Because Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk is nothing more than Mitch Green, like in the movie Casino. Have you brothers ever seen Casino with my man Robbie D, Al Pacino, or not Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, which is an amazing movie, and it's based off a true story. The face of the casino was a man named Mitch Green, who even in the movie they said he didn't even have enough gas in his car to go down and get the check that was given to him through the mafia. You see? So just like these guys, you never heard of them in your life. Oh, and speaking of Jeff Bezos, 41,000 people wrote a petition for him not to return to Earth.
Yeah,
So he took a so-called flight, and they wrote like, "Don't let him come back."
You're not wanted. You're not wanted here.
That's right.
You see this? Not welcome.
No Edomites allowed.
Right.
You know?
Back in St. James 5 and 2, and it says, "Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten."
Yeah, all the riches here are corrupted, man. All right, and also I believe you just had 23 nations, including Russia, that are going to stop dealing with the American dollar. You know?
I'll read one more time. St. James 5 and 2, "Your riches are corrupted." Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Verse 3, "Your gold and your silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness unto you." Shall be witness against you.
Yeah, nowadays people don't even deal with gold and silver, man. These Americans, they deal with FRN notes. These Americans don't even understand how money works, man. See, real wealth is substance. Real wealth is gold, silver, land, cattle. Okay, that's real wealth, man. Not a fucking FRN note with your enemy's face on it. Okay, and what's that little cell phone challenge shit Jake be doing, the money phones?
Yes.
Jake think they're doing something, man. Okay, all the people that are paying attention to the stock market and the way money works, they're putting their assets into gold and into silver. And a lot of people are going into Bitcoin, but that's been up and down as well, man.
Yeah.
The stock market is going to crash, man. Your money system is going to crash. Okay? Oh, and your banks are going to fail. You need to get your money out the bank, man. It's going to come a time to where all of these droughts, okay, because you need water to do what? To have electricity. So without water, with all these droughts, it's going to bring what? Blackouts, man. It's going to be bank failures. People's not going to be able to get their cash out the banks. It's going to be all chaos out there, man.
And people are going to try to go on bank runs. Everybody's going to try to rush to get their money. And then even that one Jake, Charleston White, was saying how that when they first was giving stimulus, people couldn't even cash them because the banks didn't even have enough money for them. You know?
Exactly.
So that there's things that go on in certain places that is not on major news, but you got to tie all these things in for the bigger picture of what we're talking about now. You know, you can't just wait for CNN to report shit. You know, that's why you got to do your due diligence and watch. You know?
Yeah, they're on the script, man. The news is scripted. That's why it's called mainstream media. You know.
A quick one.
That's why everybody's going to alternative news media, like YouTube, Natural News, Shit Hit the Fan. All of these websites like Zero Hedge, people are turning to those sites to get what's really going on, man. You know, I believe you had one CNN reporter. She said, "I'm just saying what CNN told me to say," something like that.
Yeah.
But she said it live on the air, you know, to where you knew the shit was scripted. You know?
Did you see the one chick from Fox?
Oh, I believe that was her.
Yeah, and she said about muzzling, and I was like, oh, that's spiritual, because, you know, it's like you can't muzzle the ox, you know, with our elders and apostles doing the work, you know, so it's very spiritual her to say that on live television, you know, people are, you know, waking up.
Yeah, people are waking up to the bullshit, man. That's why it says we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Right? One of his devices is what? That media. You know, case in point, you just had this so-called Black Panther, which spoke here. I'm trying to link him to being an Israelite. You know, now they use that to what? Further the persecution, man.
Yeah.
This is the book of Saint Zephaniah. I'm going back to James after this. Saint Zephaniah 1 and verse 10. And it says, and it shall come to pass in that day, said the Lord, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills.
Right.
Verse 11. How ye inhabitants of Mektesh.
Right, now I believe Mektesh was an ancient town where they dealt in a lot of trade, a lot of exchange of coins, money, business. Okay, so what's that today? Today that'll be your Black Wall Street. It's like your Wall Street Journal, your stock market, New York. But all that shit is going to crash. You know?
Well, think about, I believe it crashed during the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
You know, it crashed during certain, heightened times. And don't think for a second that the Edomite elites don't play a major part in that, because they were the ones that lied and said, like, Napoleon, something happened to Napoleon, so then they hyped it up. That, like, they play with numbers and they use rumors too, so then they can cash in. They're all about that.
The same thing with the housing crisis. They was giving out all these faulty loans and stuff like that, knowing that they wasn't going to be able to do anything about it. Wells Fargo was making fake accounts with people's names and all types of, so.
Yeah, and now they're saying the price of lumber is going up.
Yep.
So the building of houses has ceased.
Yep.
Hey, the cops went and stopped exorcism of wood at a Home Depot just last week.
I was just reading that.
Esau's going, they're going crazy.
Yeah, I was just reading
They're
that.
going crazy.
He was in the aisle.
Yep.
And it says, and a great crashing from the hills.
Right, and that's that stock market crash, man. And it's a lot of people that's invested in that shit, and it causes them to lose sleep, man. They show you that on Trading Places, how they play with the numbers and shit.
Corner in the market, and then going into the hills. When you look at the charts, it looks like it could be a hill.
Exactly.
Exactly. And then they have a term, it's going downhill.
Verse 11, and it says, how ye inhabitants of Mektesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off.
Yeah, man, a lot of people are going to lose everything. And it's been happening over the past few years. A lot of these top bankers are committing suicide. Because see, when Esau gets some type of oppression, some type of hell, he can't handle it, man. So what does he do? He kills himself. And not only himself, his wife, his kids. Meanwhile, Jacob be dirt ass poor, big ass smile on his face. All he got is a goddamn black and mild, but he cool it, man.
In love too.
Right.
Him and his woman in love, broke as hell, but kissing over noodles and a candle, still making it, man.
Still procreating.
Yep. But Esau, bro, kill everything.
You have all that fucking money, you only have one child, one or two children.
Esau can't handle adversity, just like the go back to movie Trading Places. After he went down in life, being a drunkard and shit like that, he wanted to kill himself, man. But he couldn't.
Well, in that movie too, what happened was the fall of the elites, because you saw what happened to them in Coming to America. Remember Hakeem? He said, "More, we're back." When he threw him the money. But you had to watch Trading Places to know who they were. So their ass was, so spiritual. That was technically them gone for the 1,000, and they came back.
Right.
He said it. We're back. It was the same those old two Edomite, and he was a devil too, because he kept planting money. He was planting shit trying to get Eddie Murphy. Remember? And then his ass got in the end.
I forgot how they word it, but they say wealth never. It's only an exchange. Like all the wealth that Esau got, he stole it from us. That's why we're poor. He got our shit. So when we get back in power, he's just gonna give it right back to us, and he's gonna be in a worse position than us. That's right.
I have a quick one, Baba Kashaw. This is Sirach 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit.
Right, and that's how he got everything, man. That's according to his blessing that Isaac gave unto Esau, man. That he was going to live by the sword, that he was going to get everything through deception and war, and bloodshed and rape, rob, and murder, man. Look what he did to the Native Americans, man. That's by injuries. He didn't know how to farm the land. He didn't know how to fish. He didn't know how to survive over here. And when he came over here, all he brought was disease. Gad was whooping his ass, man. If it wasn't for his disease Hey, the Lord had to put that disease on Gad, man. The Lord had to give him the Gatling gun, the dragon's breath, man.
Yep.
You know?
Just like the bubonic plague.
Yep.
You know?
In the dark ages, man. Otherwise, we would still be ruling.
Yep.
You know?
It says, injuries and riches got by deceit. The kingdom is translated from one people to another.
This St.
Hey,
Isaiah.
going back to the Wall Street stock, the first bonds was Jake.
Oh yeah.
That was the first stock.
Yep,
You know, it was us. You know, you see that in Kunta, man.
A lot of these banks got started like that, like Chase Bank.
Yep.
That's a very racist ass bank, man.
Yep.
I remember I went there, they gave me hell trying to get a bank account.
Yep.
A lot of these businesses got started off what? Using Jake as stocks and bonds, man. You know?
Quick, matter of fact. This St. Joel 3, I'm gonna just start at 1. And it says, "For behold, in those days, and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem."
Right, dealing with the two kingdoms. Okay, because here in America is where the Northern Kingdom, okay, who the Northern Kingdom are the so-called Latinos, Natives, Hispanics, Latin tribes. All right, you got the Mexicans, you got the Brazilians. Okay, which the apostles brought it out. Brazil is actually a Hebrew word, barazal, that means iron, man. Okay, so those are true Israelites, man, of the 10 tribes. And then you got the Negroes, so-called African Americans, black, colored people, Jamaicans, Haitians. We make up the Southern Kingdom.
Verse 2, and it says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Right, Jehoshaphat, the word there in Hebrew is Jehoshaphat, which means the Lord's judgment.
Right. And it says, it will plead with them, they're for my people, and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations.
Right, when you go into that word plead, it means to kill. Okay, because when the Lord comes back, the slain of the Lord is going to be many.
Right. And it says, and part of my land, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and so they girl for wine, that they might drink.
Yeah, it shows you in that movie, what's that, Birth of a Nation? Where my man, he was talking to the slave master because he wanted him to get that woman, because he wanted her to be his wife. You know, so they actually put us on auction blocks and sold us. That's why you have a Black Friday, man. You have Thanksgiving, which is usually on the Thursday, and then you have the Black Friday.
Right.
You know, yeah.
And it's it's Joel 3 and 4, and it says, yea, and what ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
Which those are two Hamitic nations, if you will. All right, which Kim goes back to Ham, which means hot. Okay.
And it says, and all the coasts of Palestine, will ye bring them?
Okay, today they're being called Palestinians, but those aren't the real Palestinians. The Palestinians today are the Ishmaelites and the FJs.
And it says, will ye render me a recompense? And if he recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head.
Right, man, because everything these nations have done to us, we're going to do it unto them. It tells you that Jeremiah 30 and 16. Okay, all they have spoiled thee will I give to thee for a spoil, man.
Right.
Okay, what did the Lord tell Solomon? Ask of me, and I shall give you the heathens for thine inheritance.
Verse 5, it says, because ye have taken my silver and my gold.
Right, and that's talking about the actual silver and the gold. Like when the Romans sacked Jerusalem 70 AD. All right, Titus and Vespasian, what did they do? Well, you can actually Google something called the Ark of Titus, where they took our menorah, which was full gold plated, all our gold, all our jewels, our silver, okay? But it's also talking about us, the men, okay? Because that's written in Isaiah, I shall make a man more precious than gold.
Right.
See, so we're that gold too, man.
And it says,
and to prove that, you know, they say America runs on Duncan, but really America runs on the Israelites, man. The so-called Mexicans, they do all the, you know, like the garden, the labor, construction,
all that,
you know.
And it says, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
Right, the Grecians in this scripture is dealing with the Edomites, man. Okay, but when you go to Acts the 6th chapter, those Grecians are dealing with the Hebrews, the Hellenists. Okay, which means a Greek-speaking Jew. Okay,
Yeah, it's like it.
because the original Greeks will go back to who? Actually, the Japhites, but who is known for being the Greeks? Alexander the Great, right?
Yeah. That'd be a good for a Christian.
Yeah.
You know, be like, oh, so the Grecians, da da da. Well, explain that then.
Right. Okay.
Explain that. What that means for the Grecians then. You know.
And it says, verse 6, and it says, that ye might remove them far from their border. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head.
Right. It says, remove them far from their border, which is going back to the curse. The Lord said, I'm gonna send you to Egypt again with ships. You're not gonna see this land no more again, man. You know, and we haven't seen the land for thousands of years. Right. We haven't been in that land since 70 AD. That's a long time, man. You know, and in order for us to go back to that land, it has to be nuked. All right, Israel is going to get nuked, man.
Right.
All right.
So, there is, it's so funny there. They kosher swine. So-called, kosher swine. They have what's that? Pink City, Tel Aviv.
Yeah, they have the Al-Aqsa, which is pretty much an idol to the Islam God. Okay, they worship the Wailing Wall, which is Tel Aviv. And right now we're in Pride Month, so you know what they're doing over there, especially this weekend. They're having Pride parades.
They got the biggest parades too.
They got the biggest fucking Pride parade. You know.
Well, it says, "For Edom, O thou most proud."
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. The spirit ain't upright in them.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know what's beautiful about that? Before Pride comes,
That's right.
Oh, well, you just had the Lord had some Mo fucking crash his truck into a bunch of other Mo's.
I see that. Yep.
That shit was fire. I wanted to do it last time, man. That was fire. I was gonna title it "Killing Two Birds with One Stone."
They got some fucking birds, man. Yeah, man.
and then take it down.
Yeah, right. Right.
And that's one thing too. Those 1948ers, they so-called follow the first 5 books of Moses, but then the law says don't be a sodomite. But here it is, you're celebrating a sodomite hell day, right? Ritual,
Pretty much is all a facade, man. They use the scriptures, but they don't follow it.
Yeah, because they're into the Talmud.
Yep.
So like they'll have the 5 books and act like it's all holy and shit, but daily they're learning from the Talmud.
If they were in the scriptures, they would be Old Testament FJs. Which means they don't believe in the Lord, man.
Then if that's the case, there should be local stoning, local beheading like that. They should be on the map for raw ass executions daily.
They should also be sacrificing them.
Yep. They don't do none of that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they did that, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be like, oh, that's what's up. At least they killing at least you living by the law. But they're not even doing that. They got a fucking court system. They got a prime minister. The shit, if you go watch what they do, I'm like, where's that in the Bible?
Right. They're real weird, man. They wear the yarmulke. That's nowhere in the scripture. They could goddamn puke on command.
Saturn.
Yeah.
Yep.
They got the little straps they strap on and shit. They're weird.
Yeah. Then when they circumcise the kids, they
bite it. They bite it. They kill some of them too, because they transfer STDs, and the baby's so young they can't fight it.
The body is too immature to fight off those diseases.
The majority of the disease is herpes. So they got a whole bunch of sick shit they're doing themselves.
Just last verse real quick. Back in St. Joel 3:8, and it says, "And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians."
Right, and that's how we're going to get rich, man. That's how the kingdom is going to be built up in its excellency again, man. Because how do you build up a great empire with slaves? What made ancient Egypt great? Slavery. What made Babylon great? Slavery. Okay, the Assyrians captivity, the Greek captivity, slavery, man. All right, what made the Roman Empire so great was slavery. Okay, who did they have? Who did they have slaves in Rome? The Israelites, man, the Jews. Right. You know.
And it says, "For the Lord Yahweh Shai has spoken it."
Right. So slavery is part of the Bible. You know what else is part of the Bible? Racism. You know, because I believe one of your brothers sent the video of this JQ signing and crying. He's like, "Yeah, I'm racist, man. Don't you know they made us sleep with our mom?"
Yeah, that's my man, Charleston White.
Yeah.
So they used to breed us, homie.
Yeah.
He's in the spirit, man. He's bringing out all the facts when they talk about being racist and like, and that's the crazy thing. We're in a racist country built off evil, wicked racism. So if we're saying, hey, well, you know, we're not with these people, there's reasons behind it, that should be justified. Everyone looks at you, a so-called black person, like you're tripping if you're racist. But Esau can be racist, you know?
Yeah, this is a very racist society, man. To this day, you're looked at as 3/5 of a human. Okay, and he also went in how they passed the legislation for Moab, which the Moabites are the so-called Chinese.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's another thing. All these nations are in a crafty council against the so-called native man and the so-called black man, Latino man.
Yeah.
Okay, and what's that council? To cut you off for being a nation, to destroy you. That's why there's Planned Parenthoods all over your communities. Mm-hmm. That's why the woman of the year was who? Cardi B, a whore, so that your wives, mothers, and daughters can look up to whores, man.
Damn. You know, liquor stores on every corner.
And also churches, harlot houses, man, to confuse you. You know, because you go in those harlot houses, there's images of Caesar Borgia, there's female pastors. When I was in the world, I went to a fucking church with a female pastor, man. You know, didn't know shit. You know, but now you got women talking about their prophetesses because the Lord gave them visions. The Lord gonna destroy a lot of women. There's been heavy judgment on women too, man.
This Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord Yahweh Shai will have mercy on Jacob.
Right, that right there is a so-called racist statement. And all actually, there's nothing wrong with being racist. It just means to be for your race. Right. So we're not mad at racist Edomites, man. You could be for your race, right? Okay, we're gonna be for ours. That's why we out here, man.
We expect nothing less.
Right. Actually, that's what we want to see, man. You know, it's good to see a double that shows you, okay, I'm the double.
Right.
All right. But those ones that go crouching, like, we're gonna watch your ass anyway, because it says never trust our enemy. Right. You know.
Right. Don't be phony about it. You know. And it says. And set them in their own land.
Right, and our own land is a nation of Israel. You know what I said in Genesis? The Lord told Abraham, he said, I'm going to give you from Jordan to the Euphrates, I believe. Because that whole land mass is our land, man. You know, I believe it's... I'm looking up real quick. You want to look up?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. We'll keep going. And it says, and set them in their own land, and the strangers, shall be joined with them. Those strangers talking about Israelite foreigners, all right? Those strangers are not talking about, actual heathens, okay? And it says, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And what's that? That's slavery. Okay, because you got to remember, how about Shema Shai deals with what? Balance, all right? How about Shema Shai is a power of just balance, all right? He had us, under them for centuries, all right? But soon, how about Shema Shai is gonna put them us over them.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a translation of a kingdom.
That's right.
You know, and that goes back to the prophecy of what Jacob pulling on Esau's heel as they came out the womb. Mm-hmm. You know, even their names are omen. Ishashua means wasted away. Look how he's wasted his blessing. You see, destroying the earth, man.
And it's like it.
Real quick.
This is Genesis. Genesis 15 and 17. And it came to pass that when the sun went down, it was dark. Behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. And the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abram.
Right, and a covenant is a contract, man. The Lord made a contract with Abram, and the contract fell upon Jacob, because Jacob's name was changed to Israel, and it fell upon 12 tribes. Okay?
Abraham, Isaac, Jacob.
It did not fall upon Ishmael. It did not fall upon Esau. Right? They were rejected, man. Okay, now Ishmael, they know of the power, but they're not chosen. See?
It says, Genesis 15:18, and the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river of Euphrates.
Right, from the river of Egypt, which is what? The Nile, man. So so when we get set up in that land, we're gonna set up our borders, man.
Right.
Okay, and really the whole earth is ours, but we're gonna have from the Nile to the Euphrates. That's a lot of land, man. Okay, if you look at the ancient map of the tribes and how everything was bordered and divided up, it was perfect. You know, the Lord gave us each a plot of land based upon our tribe size, man. You know.
And it says, the Kenites and the Kenizzites and the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Rephims and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Girgashites and the Jebusites.
Right.
Which the Jebusites goes in the actual land now known as Jerusalem.
Yep.
Yep, Jebus.
Which those are all Hamite nations, man, the sons of Canaan. Okay, which the Lord cast them out of the land for the same reason He kicked us out the land. So now you got these FJs in the land. They're doing the same shit that got us kicked out, but for some reason we're supposed to look at them as the chosen people. It don't make no sense, man. You know?
It's spiritual though, because there's a lot of times when you go and talk to them about like the curses, Deuteronomy, how this, and they, you know what they say? They say that, well, maybe them curses haven't happened yet, which is spiritual because Deuteronomy 30:7, you're right, those curses haven't came upon you yet.
Right.
It came on us,
Right.
but they're getting ready to come on you.
Right.
You know?
It's like when you see a cartoon with the rain cloud over a character, it's like the rain cloud gonna go from us to their ass.
Right.
You know?
There's a scripture that says there's a black cloud over Israel.
Yep.
You know? And you feel that shit when you go to the hood.
Hell yeah, bro.
You know? And you're in there doing whatever, get your little food and shit.
Yeah.
And then when you drive, you hit that highway, it's like,
Yeah.
I think Nas had a lyric like that. He said, I need a new nigga for this black cloud to follow.
Wow.
While it's over me, some dog to see tomorrow.
wow. See?
Yeah, man, because it's like they're in this, like in the city amongst Jake, even though that's our people, they still wicked. They're not in their right mind. It's like out there, you got to keep your head in a swivel. Now, of course, our heads in a swivel spiritually, but out there, it's like you got to keep, like stay attentive. You know what I mean? I'm starting from the top again. Yeah, perfect example.
Damn.
He need a kingdom. He got to be done away with. On this side, he's not right. Say Isaiah 14 and verse 1. Start from the top one more time. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them. And it says, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
There's a lot going on out here.
Yeah, man.
You know, a lot of spirits.
That's
the spirit though. The Lord always brings examples. You know, when brothers are teaching.
That's Deuteronomy 28:28.
Yeah, man.
And I blame Esau for that. You know?